What if the person you believe you are is the most sophisticated prison ever designed? Its walls are not made of stone, but of beliefs you never chose. Its bars are not forged from iron, but from the fear of what others might think. And the warden, the one who ensures no one escapes, that warden is you. Think about it. When someone dares to live differently, you're the first to warn them of the dangers. When a child questions the game, you teach them to accept the rules. When a friend seeks authenticity over security, you call them irresponsible. You've become the most effective guardian of your own confinement. But this entire theater of control only works because you've been made to forget a fundamental truth, a secret etched into the heart of ancient wisdom, from Plato's allegories to the Hermetic texts of old. What we are about to explore is not just a forgotten philosophy. It is a key, not to escape the prison, but to realize the prison itself was never real. And you have been holding that key from the very beginning. To understand this prison, we must first understand its architecture. And for that, we don't look to the future. We look back over 2,000 years to a story about prisoners chained in a cave. Picture Plato's famous allegory, but not as a dusty text from philosophy class. Imagine it as a blueprint of your own mind. In this cave, people have been chained since birth, facing a blank wall. Their entire reality consists of shadows, cast on the wall by a fire burning behind them. They give names to these shadows. They study their patterns. They build entire lives around the dance of these flickering forms. For them, the shadows are not representations of the truth. They are the truth itself. Now look at the world around you. The daily news cycle, the trends on social media, the accepted definitions of success and failure, the very limits of what you believe is possible. Are these not the modern shadows on the wall? We debate their meaning. We celebrate them. We fear them. We live and die by them. But we rarely, if ever, turn around to question what is casting them. But let's be honest about these chains. They are not cold, hard iron. They are far more subtle and far more comfortable. The chains are the warm embrace of conformity. They are the safety of a predictable life. They are the quiet relief that comes from not having to make difficult choices, from knowing your place in the grand silent agreement. The system's true masterstroke was not in chaining us, but in convincing us to love the chains. And who are the most vigilant guards of this cave? The other prisoners. Imagine you are the one who somehow breaks free. You turn and see the fire, you see the truth of the projections. Overwhelmed with this discovery, you rush back to your friends to share the news. You tell them, look, it's all just shadows. There's a whole world of light and substance beyond this wall. What is their reaction? Do they celebrate? Do they thank you? No. They call you a madman. They accuse you of trying to destroy their reality, the only one they have ever known. But the fear of the unknown is so great that they will defend the familiar illusion with their very lives. They will tighten their own chains and insist that you do the same for the good of the cave. This is the tragic irony of the human condition. The prison is guarded from the inside. Plato described figures walking behind the prisoners, holding up objects in front of the fire to create the show. But what if the ones casting the shadows are not a secret group of people? What if they are the unquestioned ideas we inherit? The cultural programming that runs in the background of our lives, the silent assumption that this material world is all there is. The true genius of this prison is that it convinces you that the walls of the cave are the edges of the universe. It makes you fall in love with the shadows. But what happens when one prisoner is freed? At first, the light of the fire is blinding, painful. The real world seems chaotic compared to the simple, predictable dance of shadows. This is the vertigo of awakening, the terrifying realization that everything you held to be true was merely a projection. This begs the most important question of all. If our reality is just a collection of shadows on a wall, then where precisely is the light coming from? What is the fire that projects our entire world? That fire, the source of all the shadows we call reality, was not a mystery to the ancient world. They had a name for it. In the secret schools of Egypt and Greece, it was described by a single world-altering principle, the first law of the Hermetic tradition. The all is mind, the universe is mental. Consider what this truly means. Not that the universe is in your mind, but that the universe is mind itself, a vast, living, thinking cosmos. The reality you experience, the chair you're sitting on, the air you're breathing, the thoughts running through your head right now, are all thoughts within this one infinite universal mind. This wasn't just a clever metaphor. It was considered the operating manual for reality. In this view, our individual minds are not separate generators of thought. They are terminals, receivers, capable of tuning into the cosmic broadcast. The shadows on the wall of our cave are not random. They are a mental projection, occurring on a scale so grand we mistake it for solid matter. And this wasn't an isolated idea. Half a world away, in the valleys of the Indus River, the ancient sages of the Vedas were describing the same truth with a different language. They spoke of Maya, the great cosmic illusion. Not an illusion in the sense that the world isn't real, but that we perceive it through a veil of names, forms, and concepts. This veil is the intricate web of shadows that we mistake for ultimate reality. But they went a step further. They asked the ultimate question. If this world is a grand illusion, who is the one being fooled? And their answer is perhaps the most profound revelation in human history. Within each person, they taught, resides the Atman, the true self, an indestructible, eternal spark of the divine. This is not the ego, not the personality you've built, not your collection of memories. The Atman is a pure, silent witness, a fragment of the universal consciousness itself. But we must be incredibly clear about what this Atman is. It is not the you that you know. It is not your name, your job, your history, or your ambitions. These are all part of the shadow play, costumes worn by the actor on the stage of Maya. The ego, the personality we defend so fiercely, is the most convincing shadow of all. Imagine your consciousness as the deep, silent ocean. The Atman is the ocean itself, vast, powerful, and fundamentally serene. The ego, your personality, is like a single wave on the surface. It rises, takes a unique form, crashes on the shore, and then returns to the whole. The wave might believe it is separate, that its journey is all that matters, that its waviness is its permanent identity, but the ocean knows better. The wave is, and always was, nothing but the ocean expressing itself for a moment. The Great Forgetting was not a historical event. It is a psychological one that happens to each of us. We become so hypnotized by the drama of our own wave that we forget we are the entire ocean. Do you see the pattern? 3 different cultures, separated by thousands of years and miles, all pointing to the same monumental secret. Plato's cave is the world of Maya. The fire casting the shadows is the universal mind of the Hermeticists. And the true identity of the prisoner, the one who has the potential to turn around and see the light, is the eternal Atman. They were all telling us that the ultimate mystery isn't out there in the cosmos. It's inside us. The light that projects the world and the consciousness that perceives it are not two separate things. So if the blueprint for our reality and the key to our freedom have been known for millennia, why do we continue to live as prisoners, mesmerized by shadows? Why has this knowledge been so deeply buried? So far we have explored a mind-bending possibility, that our reality is a mental projection and that our true self is a spark of the universal mind. But this knowledge is useless if it remains a beautiful theory. The question is, how do we use it? How do we go from being a prisoner of the shadows to a conscious creator of our reality? The ancient Hermetic texts didn't just diagnose the problem, they provided the manual. They laid out universal principles or laws that govern the mental universe. Understanding them is like learning the physics of consciousness. Let's focus on 3 of them, not as abstract rules, but as practical tools. The first we've touched upon, the principle of mentalism, but let's anchor it. This means your thoughts are not just passive reactions to the world, they are active, creative forces. They are the brushstrokes with which you paint your experience. Think about the last time you had a bad day. Did the entire universe conspire against you? Or did a single negative event in the morning set a mental filter? A spilled coffee becomes a traffic jam, which becomes a difficult meeting. Your mind, tuned to the frequency of bad, actively seeks out and focuses on evidence to confirm its own story. The practice here is not about forcing positive thinking. That's just painting over the shadows. The practice is to become a neutral observer of your own mind. When a strong negative thought arises, don't fight it, but don't blindly accept it either. Simply ask, is this thought a fact or is it a story my mind is telling me right now? This simple question creates a space, and in that space, you reclaim your power. The second is the principle of correspondence. Its famous axiom is, as above, so below, as within, so without. This means your external world is a perfect mirror of your internal state. The patterns repeat on every scale. This is the most powerful diagnostic tool you will ever have. Look at the state of your desk, your room, your car. Is it chaotic and cluttered? Is it minimalist and clear? That is not just a physical space. It is a direct reflection of your current mental landscape. Think about the repeating patterns in your relationships. Do you always seem to attract the same kind of person or conflict? That is not bad luck. It is your without showing you a clear picture of what is within. The practice here is to stop trying to fix the mirror. Instead of endlessly rearranging the external world, use it as a guide. When you see chaos outside, don't just clean the mess. Ask, what is the source of this chaos within me? The moment you address the internal blueprint, the external reflection begins to change effortlessly. If these ideas and tools for navigating reality resonate with you, consider subscribing so we can continue this journey together. Now for the third principle, the principle of vibration. This states, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Every thought, every emotion, every object has a unique vibrational frequency, and like a tuning fork, your personal frequency attracts experiences that resonate with it. You know this intuitively. When you walk into a room where people have been arguing, you can feel the tension. You are sensing its low vibration. When you are around someone who is genuinely joyful, you feel uplifted. You are resonating with their high vibration. Your emotions are the primary indicator of your own frequency. Fear, anger, and shame vibrate low. Gratitude, love, and courage vibrate high. The practice here is conscious frequency shifting. When you find yourself in a low emotional state, you can't just will yourself to be happy, but you can introduce a higher frequency thought. The simplest way is through gratitude. No matter how bad things seem, stop for just 1 minute and find one single thing you are genuinely grateful for. Your breath, the sun, a memory. Hold that feeling. Focus on it. You are not ignoring your problems. You are changing the vibrational state from which you will deal with them. You are tuning your receiver to a different channel, one where solutions, not just more problems, can exist. These are not just philosophical concepts. They are the levers and dials of your own consciousness. Mentalism teaches you that you are the artist. Correspondence gives you the mirror to see your work, and vibration provides you with the palette of colors. This is the beginning of conscious self-mastery, but there is a master tool, a practice so ancient and so powerful that it sits at the heart of nearly every spiritual tradition that ever sought to understand the nature of reality. It is the technology that allows you to move beyond thinking about these principles and to experience them directly. This is the art of meditation, not as a way to relax or de-stress, but as a laboratory for consciousness. Think of your mind as a turbulent sea, churned by the winds of constant thought, emotion, and external stimuli. The practices of mentalism, correspondence, and vibration are like learning to navigate this sea, but meditation is the art of calming the storm itself. It is the process of letting the waters become still so that you can finally see the clear depths beneath. In the yogic traditions, they speak of the 1,000-petaled lotus at the crown of the head, the Sahasrara chakra. This is not just a poetic symbol, it represents the pinnacle of human consciousness, the point of connection between the individual mind and the universal mind. When you sit in silence, when you turn your attention inward and upward, you're not just quieting your thoughts. You are consciously opening this gateway. The practice is devastatingly simple in its instruction and profoundly challenging in its execution. Sit, be still, and focus your awareness on the flow of your own breath or on that point of stillness at the very top of your head. As thoughts arise, and they will, you do not fight them, you do not judge them. You simply observe them as clouds passing in the sky of your awareness, and gently you return your focus. Each time you do this, you are performing a revolutionary act. You are shifting your identity from the thinker of the thoughts to the silent observer of the thoughts. You are moving out of the noisy marketplace of the ego and into the silent temple of the Atman. This is where the principles come alive. In that stillness, you directly perceive that your thoughts are not you. You feel the subtle shifts in your own vibration, and you begin to sense the profound correspondence between the silence within you and the peace that begins to manifest in the world around you. Meditation is the key that turns the lock of the Hermetic laws. It is the ultimate act of self-liberation. We have spoken of the prison, the shadows, the fire. We have learned the principles to navigate this mental universe and the practice of meditation to quiet the mind. We have built a map for the prisoner to find his freedom. But here is the final shattering turn of the screw, a truth so paradoxical it hides in plain sight. We have been using the language of escape, of liberation, of a prisoner breaking free from his chains. But what if this entire metaphor, while useful, is based on one fundamental illusion? The illusion that the prisoner and the prison are two different things. Think about it. The prisoner in the cave is made of consciousness. The chains of conformity are forged from thoughts in consciousness. The walls of the cave are the perceived limits of consciousness. The shadows on the wall are ideas within consciousness. And the fire, the great universal mind that projects it all, is also consciousness. There is no other. There is no system external to you that is holding you captive. The entire drama is a play put on by a single actor. The warden and the prisoner are the same self, playing two different roles. The guard is the part of you that fears the infinite responsibility of freedom. The prisoner is the part of you that yearns to remember what it is. This is the ultimate meaning of the Vedic phrase, Atman is Brahman. The individual spark is not just like the cosmic fire. It is the cosmic fire. Imagine you are having a vivid dream. In the dream, you are lost in a terrifying maze pursued by a monster. The fear is real, the desperation is real. But then, you wake up, and in that moment of clarity, you realize everything. The maze was you. The monster was you. The fear was an emotion created by you. The entire world was a projection of your own sleeping mind. The question was never, how can the dream character escape the dream monster? The only solution was for the dreamer to wake up. This is the Reviravolta da Alma. The prison is not something you are in. The prison is something you are doing, and you can stop doing it at any moment. So the question is no longer, how do I escape? The question becomes, what reality will I choose to create, now that I know I am the creator? This realization echoes the deepest secret of the ancient alchemists. Their quest was never truly about turning lead into gold. That was the shadow story, the metaphor for a far greater work, the transformation of the soul. Their foundational motto was solve et coagula, dissolve and coagulate. First, you must dissolve. You must allow the solid, seemingly real identity of the prisoner to dissolve back into its source. You must face the terrifying void of realizing that the personality you have built, the story you call my life, is an elaborate construct. This is the nigredo, the blackening, the dark night of the soul, where all illusions are burned away. It is the moment in the dream where you stop running from the monster and let it consume you, only to find it was made of smoke. Only then can you coagulate. From that formless primary consciousness, from the awakened dreamer, you can begin to consciously create. You coagulate a new reality, a new self, but this time, not from unconscious programming and inherited fears, but from wisdom, intention, and a direct connection to the creative fire. This is not a one-time event. It is a continuous dance. Every day, every moment, you are either unconsciously coagulating the prison walls around you, or you are consciously dissolving them to remember the open space that you are. The alchemist's laboratory was never a physical place. It was the human soul itself. And the great work is the constant moment-by-moment choice to wake up within the dream. So, the dreamer awakens. The alchemist understands the great work. The prisoner realizes he is also the warden. What now? This is the most critical and often the most avoided stage of the journey. The vertigo of infinite freedom comes with an equally infinite responsibility. If your reality is a projection of your consciousness, then every corner of your life is your signature. Every relationship, every success, every failure, every joy, and every sorrow is a mirror of your inner state. There is no one left to blame. The government, the economy, your parents, your past, these cease to be the causes of your condition. They become the symptoms, the raw material, the shadows on the wall that your consciousness is using to tell itself a story. To continue blaming them is to willingly pick up the chains and lock yourself back in the cave. This shift transforms your entire ethical landscape. Every thought you entertain is no longer a private, harmless event. It is an act of creation, a prayer, a vote cast in the election of your reality, the casual judgment of a stranger, the secret resentment held against a loved one, the recurring thought of lack or fear. These are not just thoughts. They are the energetic blueprints that will inevitably manifest as the world you experience. Authenticity is no longer a lifestyle choice. It becomes a cosmic imperative. To live against your inner truth is to actively create a world of disharmony. To conform out of fear is to feed the very illusion that entraps the collective. Your liberation is not just for you. Every time you choose courage over comfort, every time you dissolve a limiting belief, every time you act from a place of love instead of fear, you are not just changing your own world, you are changing the frequency of the universal mind itself. You are holding a torch for the other prisoners, still mesmerized by the shadows. This is the true responsibility of awakening. It is not to retreat from the world into a state of passive bliss. It is to engage with the world more deeply than ever before, but as a conscious artist, not an unconscious actor. It's the challenge of holding the profound knowledge of your infinite nature while navigating the finite challenges of a human life. It is the art of seeing the dream for what it is and still choosing to dream a beautiful dream. But we must acknowledge the fierce resistance that arises from within. The ego, the dream character, does not surrender its perceived reality easily. When faced with this total responsibility, it will scream that it is unfair. It will point to real, tangible injustices, to traumas suffered, to systemic inequalities, and demand an exception. Surely I did not create that, it will argue. And here lies the most subtle and powerful distinction. To take responsibility is not to take the blame. It is not to say that the pain you experienced was your fault. The universe is not a system of punishment. It is a system of reflection. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that, on some deeper level of your being, you have participated in the consciousness that allowed these events to manifest in your experience. It means shifting from the powerless question, "Why is this happening to me?" to the infinitely powerful question, "What is this experience revealing to me about my own beliefs and vibrations?" This is the sword that cuts the final chains. It moves you from the position of a victim of circumstance to a student of reality. Every hardship becomes a lesson from your higher self. Every conflict becomes a masterclass in correspondence. The goal is not to have a life devoid of problems. The goal is to reach a state of consciousness where you understand that you are the source of the solutions to the problems you yourself have created. It's a terrifying yet exhilarating proposition. The power to create the problem is the very same power that can uncreate it. So we arrive at the end, which is, of course, the beginning. We have journeyed from a prison of shadows to the heart of the creative fire. We have seen that the prisoner, the warden, and the prison itself are all masks worn by a single, infinite consciousness. The practical tools are in your hands, the principles of a mental universe, the mirror of correspondence, the tuning fork of vibration, the master key of meditation, the ancient technology for deprogramming the mind and remembering the silent observer within. But after all the maps have been read, after all the philosophies have been explored, one final cosmic question hangs in the silence. Why? If we are at our core this infinite, free and all-powerful consciousness, why engage in this elaborate game of forgetting? Why would the dreamer choose to dream of being a prisoner? Why would the ocean pretend to be a single frightened wave? Perhaps the answer isn't meant to be found in words, but in the living of it. Perhaps the ultimate purpose of limitation is to experience the joy of overcoming it. Perhaps the darkness exists only to make the act of creating light a meaningful one. Perhaps the entire universe is a grand cosmic drama, and the greatest honor is not to watch from the audience, but to play a part on the stage, even a tragic one, with courage and with love. The hunt for these mysteries is not a race to a final answer. It is a slow, deliberate re-enchantment of our own existence. It is the sacred art of asking the questions that dissolve the walls of our own cave. The greatest mystery is not out there in the stars. It is in the fact that you are here now, capable of contemplating it all. You are the universe's way of knowing itself. Like this journey? Hit subscribe for more mysteries. And that's our hunt for now. A wild mix of documented history and tantalizing what-ifs based on bibliographical sources. What do you think?